let's learn how to make a pop-up room sculpture. Remember, with every video, you can make it along with me at the same time, or you can watch the video, finish it, and then make your art afterward. So you choose. Okay, so this is part A of our sculpture. Part A will go through steps 1 through 6 that you see in that PDF in the Nearpod, and that is how to build the sculpture. But before we learn how to build it, we want to make sure we have every material on hand at home. So the greatest thing about this project is that you don't need a whole lot of special supplies to complete it. We're literally turning trash into art, right? Something that would just go in the trash or recycling bin, and we are making it into something new. All right, let's talk about what do you need. You need a cracker box or a cereal box. Mine's already broken down. You need a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie or a black marker for outlining, scissors to cut your box, and coloring utensils like markers or crayons. All right, step 1 is really just breaking down our box. I've already done that. Just when you break down your box, just be careful trying not to tear it too bad. Now that it's broken down, I don't want these tabs. You see these tabs that are on the side? I only want the big part, this big center. So what I'm going to do is just carefully take my scissors, and wherever I see a tab, I'm just going to snip it off. I'm going to be careful so that I don't cut lines that are really hairy like that. I don't want my line to look bad like that. I want it to be nice and straight, right? See the difference? All right, set that off. Let's turn it around. Actually, I'm going to cut this right here because I only want this rectangle part. I only want this part. So let's cut off the last 2 tabs. All right, almost there. All right, if there's a little bit of tab left over, just snip it off so it's nice and clean. All right, so I have a square or a rectangle piece of cardboard. You have this extra here, so if you want to make a second, you can use this, but I'm just going to set this off to the side. All right, so step 2, well, we've already just finished step 2. Step 3 is to fold our rectangle in half. We do not want to fold it hot dog. We want to fold it hamburger. So place your hands like this and thumbs underneath. Slide them under. What we're going to do is train the paper to fold. Right now, this wants to lay flat. Remember, we're making a sculpture, so we're making it 3D. So this is the first step in making it 3D. Fold it over, bring those corners all the way to these corners. Don't fold it where it's underneath or over. Match the corners up the best you can. All right, I'm matching it up, right? Look where I place my finger, in the middle. Take my other finger, bring it down, and press on that crease. What I'm going to do is press on the crease to the side, right side, and the left side. This cardboard is going to be thick, so you want to press it really nice and neat. All right, that's pretty good, but to crease it even more, here's a trick. Take your scissors, carefully hold them, put your hands on the blade part, take the handle and just press it down on that crease. What I'm doing is I'm sliding along that crease, and the reason I'm doing that is to make my crease even tighter. Right now, at first it didn't want to lay down so much, and now that I slid my scissors, now it can fold. Of course, we'll have it like this once we're all done. Okay. All right, that's step 3. We folded it in half. Now we want to draw the lines where our pop-up room sculpture will go. So because it's a room, there's going to be furniture in there. So we can draw lines for a table, draw lines for a chair. And in my example, I used a table and chair, but when you are making your room, you can make it into a bed, you can make it into a stove, it's whatever you want. All right, I'm going to make a table and chairs, and what I want to do is not just draw a table and chairs here, I want to draw the lines that I will take my scissors and cut on in a moment so that those parts will pop up like this, right? Okay, so I'm just going to eye it from here to here. Same amount from the middle line, I want to go up and down. One vertical line from here to here. This is going to be my table, so I want my next line to be the same exact length from here to here. I'm not drawing a table yet. I'm only drawing the lines that I will cut on to make the pop-up table. All right, that's going to be my table. It's going to be in the center of my room. Now I want to draw two chair lines. The chairs are going to be smaller than the table, so I want the lines to be a little bit shorter from here to here. Make sure that the same amount of length of line is above your midpoint as is below. Since this is a halfway point or their center point, I should have about 1 inch on top and 1 inch below, not 2 inches or 1 inch. Okay, let's repeat it over here. Vertical line, trying to make them nice and even. All right, table and two chairs. That is step 4. If you did want to make this maybe into like a bedroom, you could even make these lines wider from one another. Maybe make it look more like, if this is my center line, maybe you could draw them a little bit wider from each other, and then maybe draw lines for 2 nightstands or something like that. So you can kind of see the difference, right? Okay, let's go into step 5. You know what? I'm going to draw some lines in Sharpie, or outline these in Sharpie just so you guys can see them a little better. It'll be easier to watch. You don't have to outline these lines, but this is just for you guys. All right, I have my lines. Those are my guiding lines. Now, what I want to do is actually fold it inside out. So we, of course, are going to make this the back. We aren't going to be drawing on this. We're going to be drawing on the brown paper, but right now we're going to fold it this way. And what we're going to do is cut through that layer of cardboard. This is where you have to be very careful. I'm going to take my scissors and not using the tip, I want to slide them into where the whole blade is on that cardboard. And all I want to do is cut right on that line. All right, I just cut right there. You see how it's slit? Right? You can already see it could open up inside. All right, let's cut on the other lines. Try to cut right on that line. Cut, cut, and stop. Don't go further up. You want to cut right on the length of the line that you did. Remember, you're cutting through 2 pieces of cardboard at once. It's going to be a little bit hard to cut, so you have to be careful. Make sure your fingers are out of the way in the back. When you get to the edge, be extra careful. All right, we've made all our cuts. Let's see how this goes. All right, step 6. Right now it looks flat. Let's turn our flat cardboard into a sculpture. Slide your finger underneath each crease. And we are going to guide it to fold. All right, there's no fold up here, so I want to almost create my own. I'm going to kind of fold it with my fingers like this. And placing my fingers right here, you can see them right here, right? I'm going to just crease and create a crease line, okay? Slide my fingers under for the chairs. Let's create a crease right here. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, but just take your time. Don't go fast. You don't want to tear your cardboard. All right, can you already see it coming up? Cool. All right, let's do it here too on this side. Crease it nice and good. You know what? This line wasn't exactly even. I'm going to cut it just a tad more. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right, this is flat. How do we make it 3D? Slide our finger under. We pop it out. It's the pop-up room sculpture, right? Make it even a little bit. There we go. Okay, once it's kind of like this and the paper wants to fold this way, you could take the entire thing, fold it over, and just kind of smush down those creases. You're just really pressing them down so that they will want to pop up when we open this back up. All right, press it down. You can kind of see it looks like that. Looks like a little book right now. Let's see how it goes. Open it up. We got a table and 2 chairs on its way. All right, y'all, that's the end of part A. That's building our sculpture. In part B, we will talk about how to design it. So how do we start? We started by cutting or breaking down a box. We cut off the tabs. We folded that rectangle in half, remember? And then we drew the vertical lines perpendicular to the center line. Remember, if you want it to be a bed, make those lines wider. If you want it to be a table, make it shorter. Skinnier lines for the chairs. And then we folded it in half again, snipped it with our scissors, and worked on creasing it and popping it out. That is part A. Let's go to part B.